All right, campers, we're back with Stan on the Big AM 1380, and I'm very pleased to introduce Bill McCoshen to the program. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Hey, Stan. I'm well. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure, and I just have to tell you that I'm a happy camper this morning, and I'll give you a little background here. I think you're going to enjoy this.
Okay.
A friend of ours, a young man who is from Germany, he's studying out in California, and he came in Saturday to spend a week with us. We picked him up at the airport at O'Hare at about 5:30 Saturday afternoon, evening. And we said, Sebastian, you have two choices. We can stop and feed you in a nice restaurant, or we can head straight back as fast as we can and get to the Janesville Jets game. And he said, let's go. And
awesome.
So straight through, and we walk in the door, and they're just breaking after the first period. The Jets are down 2-1. And I turned to Sebastian. I said, we have to do something about this. Bill, it was a great game. Who is this? What's his name?
Colin Munson.
Colin Munson, a hat trick. And
2 goals in the last 5 minutes, yeah.
Unbelievable. We were going crazy. And we left with a jetpack, a jersey, a puck. We had all kinds of stuff. And you've made one of our friends from Germany very, very happy. Bill, for those who don't know it, you're president of the Janesville Jets. It was the second weekend sweep in a row. Team's doing pretty well. Tell us about it.
Team's doing pretty well. The Jets are in first place in the North Division. There's 6 teams in the North, and we have a 6-point lead and we got 3 games in hand on the second place Sioux Eagles. More than that, though, Stan, we're ranked number 1 in the entire NAHL. There's 24 teams from as far west as Fairbanks, Alaska, as far south as Corpus Christi, Texas, as far east as Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and then all the way up to the Canadian border in Minot, North Dakota. And of all those teams, the Janesville Jets are the top-ranked team for the 7th out of the last 8 weeks.
Well, it's a great accomplishment. And if anybody saw that Saturday night game, they would know exactly why. I've been kind of bookending that performance and the performance by the UW Whitewater Warhawks to just grit it out and somehow find a way to win and get to the national championship. And on the other hand, we had our Packers out in Buffalo. It just didn't look good. So thank God the Jets were playing, and we could watch that, and we're all excited about our UW Whitewater Warhawks. But maybe the Pack ought to view some film from these other 2 wins. It's how it's done. You just don't give up. You just keep hustling. Bill, I know you're proud of the team. I didn't see you at the game. I
was at a wedding reception Saturday night in the Wisconsin Dells for another guy in the lobbying corps, and he finally got married at age 42, so I had to witness it to make sure it actually happened.
Who was that?
George Claich.
Oh!
He's another Thompsonite from Days Gone By. Yeah.
Well, what was he thinking, though, getting married on a night of a Jets game? Come on.
Well, what he was thinking was it was 12, 13, 14. So that's a date that he'll never forget, I guess.
Okay. Well, at least he will have no excuses for forgetting his anniversary. Bill, you would have really been proud of the players. They just absolutely refused to give in. There was some sort of a will to win, and then it was pretty frantic the last couple of minutes after Cullen scored that game winner, and Matt Jersic, your goalie, just absolutely hung in there and would not let anything through. Oh, it was.
I'll tell you and your listeners a little secret. When I'm not there, I actually watch the games on my smartphone.
Oh.
On Fast Hockey. So my wife thought maybe I had a bladder infection. I kept going to the bathroom on Saturday night to catch a little bit of the Jets game. So I knew exactly where they were at. And, honestly, of the 21 wins we have, Stan, my bet is we've been behind in 15 or 16 of those. Our guys historically start a little bit slow, but they never quit. And we've got a really nice balance of veteran players and rookies. And I would say this, there's no question our veterans carried us the first 25 games of the season, but the last 5, our young guys have really stepped it up. And, that bodes well for the rest of the season for sure.
And they're skating well. They're fast. I like the defense. They're passing well. They were really crisp for most of the, as you saw, I guess, when you were sneaking off to watch a little bit of the game. It was a great night. It was fun to be there. You were doing a lot of neat things with throwing the puck in and all of that sort of thing. How are you? I know there was some concern, Bill, in terms of attendance. You're gonna, I guess, we're gonna have to step it up a little bit. Are you getting any kind of indicators so far in the season on how you're going from a business standpoint?
Well, let me say a couple of things. First, on the coaching side, Joe Dibble, our head coach, Eric Largen, our assistant coach, have done a phenomenal job, not only recruiting and making the savvy trades at the right time to build this team, and then marketing these kids to D1 schools, which is what it's all about. We're trying to get these guys college scholarships. So Eric and Joe have done a spectacular job, but Natalie Toby, who is our game night manager, has made these games a lot more fun. I mean, and you probably saw that, and your German friend as well. I mean,
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. There's prizes every game. There's a lot of activities. It's not just about hockey, although, as I've said, we've got the best team in the league. There's a lot of fun to be had, and it's at affordable prices. There's always specials, both on tickets and on beer. And, unfortunately, the fan base has been pretty meager this year. This is the lowest attendance we've ever had, which is, we're all scratching our heads saying, how can this be with such a good team and so much fun going on? It's sort of bewildering why the fans aren't coming to support the team.
Well, I'm going to try to do something about that. I just can't believe that folks would not go if they knew how exciting this was. And you mentioned Natalie. Now, she was on my show a week ago or so. You had some of your players out doing community work and that sort of thing, and that was what we were talking about. And then last night, just went up and asked Natalie if Sebastian could get his picture taken with Cullen. Oh, sure. So he comes out, and he has a hard hat on. Oh, it was so cool. And
so that means, he got the hardest worker of the game award that night, and the players choose that. So after every game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cullen's a good kid. He won a state championship at Edina, Minnesota last year, which is, winning the Minnesota State High School Championship is really probably as good as it gets in high school hockey. And he's a great player. He's one of our young guys. And, it took him a little while to figure out this junior thing, but he's really come on strong the last few weeks.
Well, and he's just there. He's around the net. He's. I'll tell you what, though, one of their goals they scored, and one of those guys was in our crease. I got a little upset about it. I didn't think the goal should have counted. He was just out of bounds, but we overcame a bad call.
Well, and as you pointed out to your listeners, I mean, the game itself was so exciting. The Jets were down. Keystone had scored 2 power play goals to go ahead, and our guys, with 5 minutes to go down 1 goal, just refused to quit, and They tied it up. And not only they could have settled for going to overtime and then maybe to a shootout, but they wanted to win in regulation, and they did it. No,
it was a great great game. What do we have to do here, Bill? One of my theories is I think more folks should get that jetpack. I think that's just a phenomenal deal. I think something like $60, and you get 10 tickets. You can use them at any game, and you can bring 9 friends to one game, or 1 friend to 5 games, or you can go by yourself for 10 games. I look at that as, and I think we need to talk about that more, but I look at that as one way to encourage a little more participation by the fans. Anything else you would suggest?
Yeah, the jetpack is obviously one of our best sellers, but I want to point out to you and your listeners, the next 4 games, we're home this Friday and Saturday, and then we're home on the 30th and the 31st, so New Year's Eve. We have something called a Family 4-Pack, and we're doing this in partnership with the Janesville Youth Hockey Association. So you get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, and if you want to add 2 beers, 1 for mom and 1 for dad, the whole thing is $30.
Oh,
so
my
you can
gosh.
take your whole family out. You get a little stale over the holidays. There's always something going on, a little hectic, so come on out and have some fun. For $30, your whole family can have a phenomenal time watching some of our future stars in the Division I ranks in college hockey.
That's just a great. I'll be talking to Natalie. We'll be reminding folks about that. What a great opportunity. You mentioned Cullen, and he was on a state championship team in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I have told people, Bill, you're one of my sports heroes. You were also on a state championship hockey team, were you not?
I was on 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Oh, my gosh. Now you...
My Superior Spartans won the WIA state championship in 1981 and 1982, and there were 6 of us that had a chance to get the championship hat trick in 1983, and we ended up losing the championship game 1-0 to Madison West.
Oh, well.
But I got 2 of them. I got 2 of the rings.
And instead of going on to play in the NHL, you decided to devote your life to Tommy Thompson.
Well, I got into another contact sport, politics.
Absolutely. We're going to have to take a break here, Bill, but we'll be right back, okay? Hey.